Hello and welcome back to All About Community. When we went to break, I told you my next guest for this segment would be Janani Ramachandran. Did I get that correct?
You sure did, yes.
Okay, very good. Well, welcome, Janani, to All About Community. We're delighted to have you as our guest, and I understand you're running for City Council. Is that right?
I sure am. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. I'm running for Oakland City Council District 4.
District 4. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about your background. Can you tell the viewers a little bit about your background?
Absolutely. So I'm an attorney by profession. I graduated from Berkeley Law.
Well, so did I.
I know. Good old Bull Tall. I have practiced law serving survivors of domestic violence, tenants, small business owners, workers throughout Oakland for the past few years. I also served on the City of Oakland Public Ethics Commission, which is what honestly got me excited about politics in the first place.
And how long were you on the Ethics Commission?
I was there for a little over a year. I had to step down last year when I decided to run for office because of ethics rules.
Okay, run for office. So you have run for office before. Tell us about that. And you ran for the Assembly, is that correct?
I did.
Tell us about it.
I ran for California State Assembly in the special election that happened in District 18 last year. And before that, I was not involved in politics at all.
Not at all?
Not one bit. I was on the other side of the table. I was part of advocacy groups, asking, fighting, pleading with our elected officials to do some things to represent the clients that I serve, my neighbors, my family, our basic needs.
And now you want to run for District 4, Oakland City Council. How did you make that decision?
So last year, I made it through the primary, and we didn't quite win, but we got close, which is what I decided that I'm not taking that as a loss. I'm taking it as a first step in the direction for my career and where I want to go with it to serve my communities. There was an opening for City Council in District 4.
And who's sitting in that seat now?
Sheng Tao.
Sheng Tao? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now I got the connection.
Yeah. So I've lived in that district for a while, and because she's moving on to other things, there was an opening, and I thought, let's use this opportunity to continue on and serve the community. I think there's a lot of work to be done in Oakland. And
there is a lot of work to be done in Oakland. And what do you see in District 4 as the major problems confronting that district? If any, maybe just perfect district. I don't know.
I wish. Maybe one day we can get to the utopia of no concerns, but I knock on doors 4 to 5 times a week, all up and down from the hills to the flats of District 4, and the number one concern is crime and public safety.
Crime and public safety. All right. Crime and public safety. How do you plan to deal with that?
There are a lot of things we have to do, both to prevent crime and interrupt the violence that's going on right now already. First,
okay, let's talk about preventing it.
Yes.
Then we'll talk about the solution.
Yeah. The heart of crime prevention to me is economic opportunity. If young people, and we see the ages of people committing many of these property crimes in particular, gets lower and lower, why aren't we focusing on paid job opportunities, summer programs, pathways to well-paying jobs to provide an alternative to the lifestyle?
Well, why don't we do that? And what can you do to make that happen?
Yeah, I think there have been programs of varying success over the years. For example, there have been paid summer jobs programs in the past, and some of those programs have dissipated or shrunk quite a bit over the years.
Well, do they have any now? I remember 10, 12 years ago, they used to have these summer youth programs and all that stuff. Any of those things still going on now?
On paper, yes. But then I talked to a bunch of high school students and asked them, how easy is it to actually apply and get one of these jobs? And the answer is always extremely difficult. You have to be so proactive as a young person to get these opportunities. And that's not how it should be.
Well, so what do you plan to do in terms of the homicide rate, for example, here in the city? I guess last year was 130 some odd.
It was.
And this year is off to an amazing start of just shocking.
It really is, and it's frightening. I know people, not just in my district, but throughout the city of Oakland, are afraid to walk on the streets, are afraid to have their kids go outside and play. And the truth is, there is a very small number of people committing homicides in Oakland, and that's in danger of committing homicides in Oakland, maybe 400 to 500. So that's where programs like Ceasefire come in, to target, to
Now, what do you know about Ceasefire?
Well, I know it's based on models from other parts of the country that have had varying levels of success based on similar crime rates. Sadly, the pandemic really thwarted its success in a lot of ways. Without having in-person community meetings between law enforcement, community stakeholders, and primarily men themselves, the program's efficacy really, really disappeared.
And what about the current chief, LaRon Armstrong? You have any views on him?
I think he has a lot of bold ideas and is deeply committed to helping us move forward in the right direction. For example, when it comes to patrol, he did divert some officers doing other responsibilities that were perhaps a little less urgent and moving them to parts of East Oakland with high violent crime rates. I think that's a step in the right direction, as is the macro program. Chief Armstrong has expressed support for macro, which is an alternative civilian first responder program for mental health calls in particular.
We're going to have to go to break. Don't touch that remote. As a matter of fact, just put it down. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is Janani Ramachandran. I probably messed that up, but that's okay. We will be right back.